tell my friends stand by me only if I'm right. I come out of triple darkness just to see the light. If I say it once, I guarantee I say it twice. If they want me, I ain't going out without a fight. In my dreams, I'm a killer, but for God, man. Try to play it cool, but it's getting hard, man. Rolling with the real and death to all the frauds, man. Not too many of me, yeah, it's kinda hard, man. In my room, sitting in my room. Know they waiting on me and I'm coming soon. Never been a sellout, never been a coon. Y'all be on the camera acting.
What's going on, family? This is Che Wills from Wealth is a Journey. I'm here to invite you to the Wealth Builders community. We meet once a month on Zoom. We talk about financial wins, areas of opportunity, and strategies to get you to the M's. If you've been doing your finances alone, I know it sucks. You don't know which direction to go. You don't know what to do, but I am here to guide you. My wife and I, we have gotten out of debt. We are debt-free, house, cars, credit cards, everything. And I am here to guide you on how you can do the same so then you can start building long-term wealth for you and your children's children. So if you've been doing finances alone and you are tired of it, I'm inviting you to join Wealth Builders community today. Let's go.
As always, in the words of the great Frederick Douglass, it is easier to raise strong children than to repair a broken man.
It's your boy Nuevo Black from the B2M Crew podcast. Tonight we got a very special episode with you. We're about to chop it up about marriage, but Coach Joaquin's son Darius popped in on the call and asked us what are the benefits of marriage. Very interesting discussion, something different. Check it out.
The availability of the proper woman. What are we talking about?
You have what you say, Darius.
Not. Let me ask that though. Is it the system or the woman that's available?
He said both.
Do you think if you had the right woman, the system wouldn't matter?
No, I think it still matters because people still unpredictable at the end of the day, and sometimes it just change.
It would matter less though. Would you agree?
But yeah.
And when I say right one, I think you can be the right one, but I mean the right one and being prepared and the right mindset as well. You know, man, I understand your questions. You got good questions, man.
What does society look like without
the word? The scriptures say you go in a way that seems right, and at the end is destruction. That's what the words say. So even based off of
he said repeat that.
The scripture said you go in a way that seems right, and at the end there's destruction. So guess what? You can go with the worldly way because that's what you believe, that's what you're attracted to, that's what you see, you know. But at the end, you thinking it's all nice and dandy, and you think you done rationalize all this, and there's gonna be destruction at the end. You know, when you get this young lady, guess what? Gonna start off having a baby by her. And guess what? Your son last name gonna be Daniels, not Wynn, because her last name Daniels. You know, and you look like, what the how did this be?
I think this. I think Darius wants to get married and have a child, right? But he asking us to sell him on why, right? Because of those things, and he's not the only one. There's so many. It's a multifaceted. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead, Darius.
It's so many different variables, right? Again, I sent a reel to talk about the dude 30 years old and said ain't none of his folks, none of his being married. And so it's not just him.
Why, the number one why is it because that's you were put on, like we talk about biology and all of that. He referenced biology when he said multiple why. Your biology demands of you as a human to go find a mate. Every animal on the planet go do it.
Right.
We're just the most intelligent of all beings, so we have something we smarter than them.
But at the end of the day, 0% of everybody kids on the phone have a wife.
For different reasons.
That don't mean they're not gonna have one. But let me say this. All right, let me help you out. Right, Darius. Right. You are you gonna become a millionaire?
He said Darius, right?
Absolutely, but what I'm saying is,
hold on.
Statistics.
What? Hold on a second. Stop talking about statistics, man. Are you gonna be wealthy? Huh?
He said, yeah. He said.
Why can't we talk about stuff? That's like we talking about basketball and saying we can't talk about the statistics. If you're trying to go to the league, we still got to look at the statistics, whether it's putting in the work or not.
But when I gave you some
statistics say you're not gonna be a millionaire, but you're still trying working towards that, ain't you?
What the statistics say about millionaires?
Black ones at that.
The statistics.
Matter of fact, statistics say most black men don't make six figures. That's what statistics say.
But what comes from not making it? That's what I'm saying is there's no negative in trying to become a millionaire and not making it. But there is a negative into getting married and then it not working.
Man, it's a negative all of that. Because more problems, more money to some people.
Would you say that you've done everything in your adulthood to make yourself the most attractive candidate in marriage to attract the best type of woman for you?
No, absolutely not. If we want to talk about me specifically, I got shit to say, but it's not about me.
But that's what I'm saying. But in general, and it's not about you specifically. But my point is that if we believe in statistics and laws of attraction and all of that, then we have the ability to attract and manifest. So my thing is I get it that the outlook is bleak, and if you look at the data, but again, I gave you some data that contradicted the data that you shouldn't get married when I said people of faith have a less divorce rate than people without faith. You know what I'm saying? So those are real statistics too. That's data.
Ain't nobody really answered my original question of what am I gaining?
Oh, so your original question was what are you gaining by marriage?
What I'm saying is the risk to reward ratio is not good.
When we're talking about marriage.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes, what I'm saying, what I'm risking compared to what my potential reward is, in my opinion, is not worth it. And I think other people would agree, like I said, if you just look at the statistics. So y'all can say fuck the statistics all you want. But
that's me.
I didn't say that.
No, that's Talik said that.
I didn't say that. But what I will say is when you talk about the risk reward, that's no different than everything else. I might hear you in another breath tell somebody if you take a business loss, that every loss is a lesson. You know, but so to me, you focusing more on dollars. When you talk about risk reward, to me, you talking about how much money you're gonna lose if it don't work out.
Right.
Because there are tons of rewards that I can say had I only been married 6 years and spent that with seeing my seed grow up to 6, and the value of that on me as a man is a hell of a reward. Even if a divorce came and the bond that was created during that time. So there's some intangible rewards and benefit that you can't count like we can count dollar bills that you might potentially lose.
Why do I have to get the government involved to be with a woman and watch my son?
You know, if you can find one in this society that will agree to your plan, then you blessed. But the problem is we live within a social construct and nobody's being raised to go out because women are by nature someone that is going to seek security and provision from a man. That's just how it's set up.
But
that's not by society, but by life. That we're the protectors, defenders. We go hunt and we bring the kill home. I don't think that's going to change.
I mean, but a factor is the financial autonomy for women these days, right? Because they no longer need a man for that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So that is a factor in what Darius is talking about. They don't need it for survival or social acceptance, and so that is, again, that's the variable across the board.
Now, what I will agree with him on is the pool. What used to be an ocean is a pond. These days, if you're someone with character and principles, and you know what you want, it's a pond.
I'm gonna disagree with that.
Okay.
You know why? I'm gonna say this, but it's again, that is a factor for sure. And in this world of social media, right, and it's different, right. You can be yourself, but you cannot. Ain't nobody gonna find a wife in the house, right? Ain't nobody gonna find a wife unless you mail order a bride or something overseas. Not being social is not an option. Now, some people's definition of being social could be the bars, the clubs. Others could be the church, the mosque. It could be playing golf or pickleball. It could be going to the library, taking walks. But you have to be out there to see people. If you're not out there, how are you gonna meet people? And if you're in the right spot of what you love to do, when you follow your passion, you're more likely to reach that right person.
I also believe you can have what you say, and life and death in the power of the tongue. And just how you attract money, Darius, you can attract the right woman.
I'm not talking about attracting women or the right women or picking the right person. That's not what I'm talking about at all. What I'm
talking about losing your money and assets.
Just the entire basis, losing access to your kids.
All right. Well, look, don't you be the driver and let her be the driver. So when it hit the fan, you don't lose nothing.
Okay. Hold on. Losing access to your kids. If you want to have kids, well, how are you gonna have kids? You gonna have them married or not married, or you're not gonna have none at all? What? Those are your choices. So which one will you choose?
If I had to choose,
you will choose. You are choosing
under some good paperwork.
Okay. So that's the prenup, or I mean, I don't know what else to say but a prenup, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. How about this, Darius? Have you ever thought about this? Have you ever thought about the right woman, right, will elevate you? Have you ever thought about that? That you ain't making it. You may make $1 million by yourself, but the right woman is not gonna make $2 million, but help you make $3 million and $5 million. Have you thought about that? Have you taken that into consideration?
I think y'all are talking to me specifically. I'm not talking about myself specifically.
Just go for any damn body.
Well,
with the right mindset.
It's the real story about. I want to say it's like a Belgian horse. Don't quote me on an exact amount of pounds. One horse can pull
35,000.
35,000 a number, but two can't pull 70. Two can pull like 100, something like that. It's
like 8. Yeah,
it's exponential what two people pulling in the same direction could do. I understand you, and like you say, I know it's not just you; it's this whole generation. That is true.
Well, I believe this, Darius. If based on the way society is, and if you're against, as you say, a system, and you having to feel like you have to fall into that system, you don't. I mean, the system is designed to where if you don't like the status quo or the way that they the general agreement as to how they define marriage and the laws and this, that, and the third, as you said, when you said paperwork and that sort of thing, that can be drafted to where you could set the terms outside of I guess of the norm of the government, if you will.
So that's
really up to you.
That's his whole point. That's his whole.
If you can find one like that.
Yeah.
If you can find what like that, a female that agree to that would agree to that.
I'm not going for that.
You can find whatever you want to find. They already say somebody for everybody. You can find them. You just got to
find. Wait a minute. Let you know that's your deal bullshit.
She said, "What now? Let you know what now?"
Bullshit deal.
I'm sorry, I can't make out what he's saying.
You getting the bullshit deal.
Hey, boy, Key, I'm back to my thing. You paying for it either way. You paying for it regardless. Whether you married or not, you paying for it.
Yeah. I mean, so all those sort of things can be determined through the courtship process, D. You know what I mean? And if you don't find it, you just don't find it. And if that's what you end up,
I think my biggest thing is, and this is not about him. Let me just, because I want to make sure he knows that is, where are we with regard to our relationship to God and faith? If you don't have a strong sense of God and faith or believe in that, then you're not even considering that in this equation. You know what I'm saying? And if that's outside of this equation, people that do have it, we'll never even be on near the same page, because we believe that relationship with God is at the basis and the root and foundation of that marriage. So if you don't believe that, then yeah, it's pretty bad out there.
Yeah,
It's
the
horrible
system.
out
Yeah.
there. You know, so
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Hey, listen, but I love that Darius talk about a blind spot we had, right? Because sometimes we in agreement with these things, and he's providing a different and valid perspective. No different than we don't have a 25 to 30-year-old woman on the show, right? To see what their issue is, and what their complaints are about men, finding a young man.
Oh no, I'm enjoying. I like the dialogue is amazing.
Yeah.
All right, when we gonna start? We gonna get started, or have we already started? We're gonna do some editing and cutting and whatnot.
We're missing something. Too many people talking.
James, just
What?
we
What
already
happened?
started.
Oh, okay.
We 15 minutes in on the recording right now.
No. Okay.
So Darius, what do you think is a solution, Darius?
The solution is much deeper than just surpassing some laws and stuff. I think a lot to go with what's acceptable, what society wants, or what's acceptable to society and what people want. So I think the problem is not just a marriage problem. I think the same problem in marriage is also the same problem and why motherfuckers is full of people in the penitentiary. I think it's the same problem and why we have such terrible financial literacy as a community. I think we have a media and messaging problem across the country that is contributing to the detriment of individuals and relationships and love and morals and all that. And when you look at the president and you see a motherfucker on here who wild and getting away with anything goes, what incentive do people have to do right? When you see a woman who out here on OnlyFans posting her body and making $1 million in a fucking month, what fucking incentive do these women have to go out here and find a good man? When you see people being rewarded for engaging in destruction and engaging in fucking ridiculous activity, what good is it do people see in doing right? So I think that's the conversation. I don't really think it got nothing to do with marriage. I think all of it seeps into everything.
I didn't catch all of that. I caught most of it though. But
he basically was saying, let me see if I can summarize it based on it. It was choppy to me too. What he's saying is when you look around and you look at the evil and the wickedness and all the foolishness that's going around unchecked and it continues in society, what incentive do you have to try to meet these great ideals? I'm not trying to, I hope I got capturing it pretty much what he was saying.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
And that is the image and what's being pushed, especially in our community. And who am I as an individual? What match am I for that? What match am I for a girl who's growing up listening to fucking spin that shit, listening to popping her pussy, listening to her mama fucking talk down on her? What match am I for that?
Darius need to come on home and put the FOI jacket on. That's what I'm hearing. Because no, listen, I'm gonna be the one to say it because I'm gonna talk about this faith thing because that's the whole problem is that like when we had our issue on the episode on faith, we are a faithless society. We no longer believe in a greater good. We no longer believe that we should be submitting our will not to some God that's far off in the sky, but to the nature in which we were created and laws that govern the universe. We believe we have a choice with some of these things that are going to continue to work, continue to, as far away as we get away from good human conduct, the farther away we're going to get away from peace. Because we think the law of God or of universal law, whatever we want to call it, we think it's a punishment when really it's an operations manual for human existence. And so when we fall away from that, then we see the decline in our behavior, the decline in our institutions, the decline in our unions. And so the reason why we we continue to focus on the right thing and feed on the right law is because, as Jesus said, I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world.
Of the world.
Because my governance of my life is not from the external. It goes from the external outside. So wherever I go, I'm going to carry that atmosphere with me. And I pray that I attract it. I might not always, but I pray that I attract all the goodness that comes from me for being in harmony with the way that manual is built. I'm going to finish on this. Brother Farrakhan said, and he was talking about marriage in the first law, James. And he said, unless God is at the center of your relationship, you will soon tire of one another. Unless he's at the center, you're not going to be able to make it, because ultimately, and not at the center for both of you, but for each individual, because ultimately, each of you is on a journey to become one with your creator. And if I'm not on that journey to become one with the creator, then I am going to ultimately fall victim to the frailties, the wickedness, and everything else of the world, because I'm losing sight of the greater prize. So if both of us aren't on such an individual journey, because nature and the universe is calling us to become one with that power that governs everything. And if we don't, we ultimately that's just my take on it. Because I don't think we can have this conversation without faith.
That's foundational.
So then when we look at the percentage of people that have stopped going to church for various reasons, and the percentage of people who are faithless, you know, what do we say to those people about marriage? Like, what do we say? Are we saying, listen, if you don't have no religion and no faith, don't even think about getting married because it ain't gonna work? I'm telling you now. Like, is that what we saying?
Hey, the funny part about it,
I mean,
when we was
I'm about to say the chances is definitely high. Yeah, for sure.
I would say, you setting yourself up for what Darius talking about.
Yeah, so I think that's what Darius is saying for us when we had this conversation, to think about as we talk and had this conversation, to keep those people in mind as well.
I would say to Grundy, I would like to think that I have.
I mean, when
I think you have.
Or maybe y'all agreeing with theirs. If you have no religious or spiritual belief, why get married? I mean,
I agree. I agree. I agree with him that even in light of everything I said, that I can see why someone his age would be thinking exactly like he's thinking. I can see why people don't have much confidence in it. I agree.
Right.
I talk to my sons too, right? I talk to my sons too. It's just certain things they're not willing to put themselves through to meet some acceptability norm for society.
Hey, look.
And that's what I'm speaking about, a faith walk.
We talk about technology and social media. Dre was up visiting, and we was talking about, now, you know, Dre do all the Chris Brown stuff. I'm like, don't nobody dance, do they? He was like, rarely. Don't nobody dance no more. Then I saw something else to say. They're not dancing because everything you do is recorded on social media, right?
Oh,
that's your failures, right? You know, y'all used to joke on me,
you gotta go
laugh at me because I was striking out left and right, right?
Okay.
But that was okay. It wasn't recorded. My failures weren't recorded, and I didn't care because I'm gonna keep taking my cuts. But now, everything that they do is recorded. You know what I mean? The process of them, the struggle is recorded, which is unusual in time. And I think that makes a lot of people be a little more shy. And again, going back to the social thing, being social is not an option. And when we talked about the church thing, right? Yeah, every church has its difficulties, right? But it's more good than bad in my mind. And you know, it's funny because when we was over there for Lottie's birthday, we all joke and play the uncle role and talk a bunch of trash. But the one thing I was going to do, and I don't know why I didn't do it, say, hey, man, I'm going to Revival tomorrow. Come on out. And I didn't put that invitation out there to y'all, whether you would have came or not. You know what I mean? Now, didn't see your wife in there. You know what I mean? Maybe you would have saw it, but nonetheless, it's still good to have those social outings, right? To see people. It's a numbers game, right? Even when you're out there social, it's a numbers game. So you got to be in those places to make anything happen in the proper
Hey, John, let me say something about what you just said real quick. Andre said people won't take a chance because people see your struggle. See, now I'm questioning somebody that think like that. I'm questioning how much you love yourself to be worried about what other people think about you in your journey to become who you want to be. So now I'm back to the mental health impact of social media, because we should all be comfortable in our skin, whether you like it or not. I'm going to fail, and I understand what that means. So I'm not going to shy away from my glow and my development because somebody criticizing me. You see, and that goes back to, what is your faith? What do you believe in? Do you believe in the influence of the world, or do you believe in the influence of some higher power that you're trying to become one with?
Hey, they spend more time on social media than in church, than in the Bible or the Quran or praying.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Darius. We appreciate
look,
your insight.
Let me say it again. I love it. I love
Pop
it.
him on the screen.
We need that balance. We need that counter. We need a lady on there to balance that as well.
No, I want to hear what Darius got to say to the last 10 minutes of dialogue. What is his thoughts about it?
I think y'all on point.
Okay.
But like I was saying, the last 10 minutes was good because, like I said, I really think that it's just deeper than just marriage, than just going out and finding the right person. Like I say, at a certain point, we got to respect the statistics and ask, why is this like this? Because it's the same thing. Even like Talik said earlier, the statistics say, I don't know, 6 of us on this phone or whatever, 4 or 5 should be in jail or whatever it is. But there's a reason for that. Why is it like that? Why is there less people getting married? Why are there less people going to church? So I think that whole discussion it has to be tied into the marriage conversation, because I don't think you can have a real conversation unless you discuss that, because that's just the simple fact of what it really is today. And like I say,
I really like how your argument expanded beyond marriage, because I think that's the whole point. Is you said, man, all these institutions fucked up, and you looked around and named them, and that's the truth.
And that's dope. And let me say this.
I just
if you were talking about
on the stream, y'all link with us. But go ahead, Chief.
Yeah. I want to say this. I know earlier, and I appreciate that, Darius. That was good. But also, I want to say, when you were talking about the animals not married, right? But think about a apple tree. If an apple tree is robbed of any of the elements, those apples is not going to get produced. So my whole point is, in marriage, right? You know, you get there's some unforeseen things that takes place in marriage, and sometimes you not gonna know until you're in the midst of it. You know, that you not gonna get in a girlfriend boyfriend relationship. You know, so yeah, you it can look identical, but guess what? It's a knockoff, right? Is not real Louis, right? Is a knockoff, and you already know what a knockoff or real Louis or Gucci gonna do, right? It looks real, but it'll embarrass you. It'll let you down later on. And so in to say all that, when you rob yourself out of these benefits, there is a ton of benefits that goes with it. And if you missing those benefits, it can mess up the results at the end.
So I hear exactly what you're saying, but what Darius started off this conversation was name them benefits. That's what he started with. Name them, because he like y'all ain't telling me nothing.
Well, let me
you
tell
don't
you,
think they got named over the course of the dialogue?
Like for instance,
raising your children,
a girlfriend might not have the most best interest in you, right? So,
neither might a wife.
Huh?
Neither may a wife.
Well, let's go back to choosing the right one. You know, going to get somebody equally yoked, right?
And he said, so let's assume you choose the right girlfriend and the right wife.
Companionship
you
Loyalty,
gonna see if you chose the right one.
family,
Well,
complimentary.
saying. So what he's
I
saying
mean, I
is,
can name them. I can name them.
he's saying when you name them, if you choose the right girlfriend or the right wife, she's a girlfriend.
Hey,
You get
listen,
up.
I'm not gonna have any complaints whether he get married through the state of Virginia or state of Maryland, whatever. If he and the woman together 40, 50 years and they committed to one another, to me that don't matter. To me that don't really matter.
Well, that's what he's saying, John. That's the point he's been trying to make.
But when y'all say that, if he just meets somebody, though, the likelihood of you finding somebody that's willing to do that within the constructs that we live in is harder than the likelihood of finding somebody to marriage and to be a good marriage. Who's gonna do that? What woman is being raised to give you everything without the necessary security that society has made her believe is the right way to do things in her entire life? Who's gonna do that?
You don't even know they holding out on you. I mean, even when you date, let me tell you something. When you're dating a woman and when you marry a woman, the woman that I was dating,
Darius, I sent you the link. Check it out.
When you marry her, all of a sudden it changed on you. They done changed on you.
JG, what you using? Like, why your quality, your video quality is a little interesting.
Like, talking like we not just on
James, we'll rap about it. Thank you.
What'd you say? What'd you say? What'd you say in the Weibo?
We on the show, J Moo.
Just like this Burger King comment, chicken parmesan.
Look, man, I didn't realize that.
You can use the notes, James. John, he said something about. I can cut this on this part.
I heard.
I don't know what specifically he's talking about.
But there is, now that I've heard everything and all of what, as your father's tried to interpret things and all, the difference of the girlfriend and the wife obviously is that level there's a in many cases a deeper level of commitment with marriage versus just a girlfriend and boyfriend situation. And the reason that is because in those benefits that you talk about, I believe is the system or the way it's supposed to be done societally is so that when the as far as like, hey, you can have, like you said, you can have that support system of a girlfriend. You can have all of what she's been by your side. You get sick, you get ill, or whatever the case. However, the law then entitles her to get and reap as far as what she's done all those years of being a support to you, of being there for you in the ways that a girlfriend and whatnot could be. So the laws were designed that if whatever happens to you, to y'all, as far as that relationship with the whole, death or whatever, right? It then allows her to reap or get something from that because it was made lawful and under the government eyes to where then she inherits things, you know what I mean? And it paid off in the end that, hey, I was by this man for 20 years, 25 years, so on and so forth. So yes, she should get whatever assets and whatever you have accumulated throughout that lifetime of work in that relationship. Yes, she was, by your bedside in the hospital to the very end and so on and so forth. So the law doesn't, if she's not married to you, that doesn't entitle her to the things that she feels, or you would even think, what I'm saying? Even in death, you wouldn't, you're not thinking about that dying. But if you have any type of compassion, I think your father even mentioned that with regards to, if you have any kind of compassion for your family or this, that, and the third, and you don't leave them something, yada, 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 right? I believe that's kind of what the why the law is in place and what it as far as some benefit to it anyway. And again, you could come up with these things to tailor it the way you wish, of course, through wills, through estates, and through whatever and all. But I think that's the purpose of the way it's set up with with society and as far as laws is concerned and whatnot.
Now that I'm on here, I'm gonna just let y'all know. I think all y'all capping because all y'all don't want y'all wives to hear this shit.
Mike,
What do you
Mike,
mean?
Let's
Mike,
go.
hear me.
What do you mean,
Enlighten
sir?
us.
Hey,
Enlighten us.
Des.
John, no, they bullshitting, ain't they?
Hey, Mike can hear me. Mike just asked me to quiet down a little
I know
bit.
how the way y'all talking, they can hear y'all.
My
Nah,
wife
man.
is way upstairs in the corner
Nah,
of the room,
bro.
upstairs somewhere. She can't hear none of this.
Regardless of the subject
And I'm not,
matter.
and we're not worried about what they may hear when they see the show either, sir.
Yeah. Nah,
Hey.
So all right. So now that I'm on here, give me the list of the benefits.
All right.
Real
Nuevo
benefits.
was the Nuevo was running it off, and of course,
I ran some more.
Let's go one by one
I'm gonna
though.
start by saying that I am not qualified enough to speak to the depth of all of the complementary benefits to a man that a woman can provide because I'm still discovering them at 55 years old. But
Fair.
some basic things I can name to you is that the Quran says that men and women are twin halves of the same essence, and that woman is a consolation for man and a comforter. The
come
Honorable
on,
Elijah Muhammad describes there is no heaven for a man except in a woman. And he
right?
talks about how no nation can rise higher than the quality of his woman, and how when you teach a man, you teach an individual, but when you teach a woman, you teach a nation, and how
Nation.
a woman is God's representative to a child until they're old enough to understand what God is, because she provides everything. And so in addition to being a mother to, in addition, the biggest thing is, one of the biggest things is, if you're able to do it within the confines of a marriage, that woman can hand yourself back to you. That she can extend you and your mind and your wisdom and your character and who you are into future generations by the mere power of her womb,
But
right?
can't my girl do that?
I'm not saying she can give you a baby. She can
I
give
mean,
you a baby.
everything you just said though.
No, like I said, how many of them, basically, like we talking about statistics, how many of them you think going to give you all of that without making a commitment?
I can't answer that question.
No, because what
All
I'm
I'm
saying
asking
is,
it is,
because the best quality of women that are out here, they weren't raised to give a man all of that without a commitment.
eh,
What does that mean, sir? Sound like
And
Larry David.
I
like
don't know
James said, yeah, she could.
how deep y'all want to get
I'm
into
not
this
saying that there
conversation.
aren't exceptions. I'm not saying there aren't exceptions to a rule, but it behooves me to think that if we talking about the pool is not an ocean anymore and it's a pond, that it's a whole lot of people in this pond that you're gonna get all of these wonderful benefits from without you having made a lifelong commitment to them in the way that society and its social construct requires that we do
Go
or
deep.
expect us to do.
I'm just speaking on the paperwork though, because right now I still don't. All I hear is based
Only
on
thing
what
the
it.
paperwork
Hold
doing
on,
there is giving you, you just want a better financial deal. That's all I hear coming from you.
but
Because you just agreed that a
all I'm hearing is
girlfriend can give you all those
everybody
things,
has
right?
been conditioned to get married based on a social construct. I'm not hearing anything of this is the exact benefit that you get from a marriage,
I just
other
said,
than a thought process.
because families are stronger, right? So you're talking about, when you say from your girl, you talking about a living lifelong, a lifetime girlfriend that lives with you. That's what you're talking about.
What I'm saying is let's say we have two couples, right? And couple
Mhm.
A, they go down to the church. They've been together for a year. They go down to the church. They get married. On paper, they're married. Let's say couple B, they don't do that, but both of them have on wedding rings. They live the same life. They had the same type of love. All of that. What benefit is couple A getting that couple B is not getting, other than tax benefits?
The woman in the couple that's married has a more confident relationship that she's secure and protected.
So you
Because
basing
you
it
can't
off.
just walk away. You can't walk away.
And the
Why
other one
can't you
is a
walk away?
knockoff.
No, I'm talking about you can't walk away. You can walk away from your girlfriend, yeah.
No, why can't you walk away from the marriage?
I mean, obviously, because it's a legally binding agreement.
But people do it every day, so we know that's not true.
You can walk
It
away,
makes
but
it
it
more
ain't as easy.
And back to James' point, there are some parameters in place to make sure the dissolution is not just to your benefit.
So what is the person A getting that person B is not getting? What is couple A getting?
The married couple?
Yeah.
I think a greater sense of security in.
Give you an example. So you stay with couple B. A man is with a woman for 20 years, right? They have 2 children. They're not married. They acquire a lot of assets. He leaves, doesn't give her shit. You can't do that if you're married.
So you advocating for the woman getting half?
I'm advocating for justice being meted out based on her having sacrificed and giving you 20 years of her life.
Okay,
so life together.
Okay, so what
I'm
if we
advocating for justice?
What if we talking about a stand-up man that would give her half anyway?
What's the guarantee of that?
It's no guarantee, but it is a guarantee. If this woman leave me, they gonna take half, and she might not have done shit.
Well,
what if I'm worth 100 M's?
Then what's wrong with you doing a prenup with the terms that you're comfortable with?
So once again, the point is, what benefit am I getting from signing this paper?
But Derek,
I got it.
You just want to be able to be with her and then leave however you want with the promise that I'm gonna be fair.
No. I just want to know what the benefit is.
Hold on a second.
Benefits and then not list benefits.
All right, Darius,
but Darius, real quick, chill. If I can hold up, Darius, you're presenting a scenario whereas the man has all the money and all of that. There are women that
we can flip it, make it the woman got paper. It don't matter to me.
Right. So you're saying there's no benefit though, but there is a benefit.
No, I didn't say it was no benefit. I'm asking y'all what is the
benefit. You said where or what is the benefit?
Unconditional love is not.
So what you saying is couple B doesn't have unconditional love.
You putting conditions on it. You putting conditions on it.
No, couple A putting conditions on it. They the one going in the court signing paper. They the ones got all these rules they got to follow. That sounds like more conditions.
Some of them signing paper. Some of them never even revisit that marriage contract again for 35 years.
But they the ones putting conditions on it.
Well, as I said earlier, Darius, I believe the benefit is to the married couple is those protections in the case that from death or whatever that relationship ends, there is some sort of benefit of what they have, what they're entitled to legally and so forth. Whereas the couple B doesn't have that.
It's like dissolving a corporation.
I think. Hold on, let me speak. I'm gonna
go ahead, Chill. Yes,
sir. Let Talib go. He's been wanting to say
three benefits. 3 benefits. Here we go. All right. Benefit 1: a spouse can make medical choices in an emergency. Okay.
That sounds like power of attorney.
Benefit 2: inheritance rules. Property passed to surviving spouse easier. Benefit 3:
that sounds like a trust and a will.
Spouse can share health insurance and Social Security.
I done share health insurance with people I work with, employees.
What about Social Security? No.
You can't share no health insurance with nobody else if you're not married, bro, unless y'all gay.
Wait, what?
I'm just saying that's the law. The law is when they got these significant spouses and you can prove some type of relationship, but you can't just say me and Daryl.
No. I see what you're saying now. So basically, the benefit is health insurance.
All right, let me push back on you 1 second. You said for everything, sound like a will, sound like this, sound like that.
Mm-hmm.
All you doing is replacing one contract with another.
I agree.
So on one hand, you saying you don't believe in contracts, but you gonna replace it with another contract.
No. I ain't say I didn't believe in contracts. I said, what benefit are they getting from getting married? I didn't say I didn't believe in contracts. What I said is, I think that the way it's set up in this system, the man has no benefit.
You don't believe in love anymore.
You said they have in the system. You said the man has no benefit. You say
you don't believe in
the person with the higher financial status. You don't believe in the
beauty
of having a more an ideal of being with this woman forever and rearing them
Couple
forever.
B can be
You
together forever.
want to be with her and have a safety valve.
Couple B can be together forever.
All right, let me say this. What if this person is just regular smegular people? They ain't got no elaborate life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you ain't got no cars and all this money that you spending over.
Then his check gonna be $18, but keep going.
Yeah, right. It ain't no different. It's love.
Oh no, he gonna be real fucked up.
It's love, bro.
Let me.
Go ahead, Wah.
I think one of the things we doing is we all got married at such a young age, and we all got married when we didn't have anything. And so, as you think about as all of these scenarios that we are giving Darius in terms of, describing scenarios, we talking about being married 20 years, and then you leave and you break up and all this stuff. Well, guess what? Because so many young people like Darius and our sons are getting married later on in life, they have acquired a certain amount of assets. And are you willing to get married? Like I saw, one of the, Tyreek Hill married a woman, and they married 18 months. She gone. She got $25 million.
I'm not sure Tyreek Hill was a great example, but
yeah, he's not a good example. He's not a good example. But the example is a man who has acquired a tremendous amount of wealth or any amount of assets, and a woman can be married to you for 2 years and take half of it.
Yes.
And take half of it. So what he's saying,
you know what this sound like?
When we think about our sons and we think about our young people, they position themselves to amass a certain amount of wealth. And you think you're choosing right when you choose a woman. And then she may have been the right woman when you chose her, but you guys maybe grew apart because for whatever reason. And now after 2 years, she take half your stuff.
Or vice versa. He said the one with the higher financial status.
Yeah, because this woman out here getting to it. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
So let me say this. What it sounds like is you need to go on a mission to change some laws. That's what it sounds like.
No. He said it, and that's what I was saying earlier as well. That it sounds like you don't have to necessarily fall into the construct of the system, so to speak. If you're going to draft and draw up your own agreements that are suitable for you and her, that's what you do.
And that's his whole point.
That hasn't been his point. His point has been why get married.
Yeah, that's right. So we can draw.
But we can't ignore why keep the prenup thing is there, right? Wealthy people do it all the time to protect. And the examples you gave are a little extreme because you're not going to be with nobody 2 years and get 50%. You're not going to do that. That's not. Well, I tell you what, if you do, automatically, if you do, you deserve it. If you acquired that much wealth and y'all didn't build it together and you didn't do the paperwork necessary to protect your assets, then you deserve that. So I'm not against a prenup in scenarios where I had 100 million, I get married, she ain't had nothing. I married a pretty woman like Richard Gere, and then she got half of all of my assets and businesses. That's just stupid.
You mean like Tiger Woods' wife?
Hey, or Jeff Bezos' wife?
Or Jeff Bezos' wife?
Hey, she's doing good things with that money though.
Again, she is. Leave her alone. But,
yeah.
But look, this is the thing though. Again, I'm gonna take it back, and it could be called idealistic. There's nothing any of us did. When you talked about us having nothing, all we had was the love that we believed in, the faith in ourselves to overcome all the obstacles, right? And then putting the action behind our words and trying to stay as right as possible, knowing that after 30 years, 35 years, it ain't that you ain't been through some shit. That's not the case because it's not meant to be. Ain't no institution on earth a perfect institution, right?
You forgot vision.
And a shared vision, right? And if you have those things and you have open communication, more often than not, you can make it. Unless somebody turn into just being an immoral, wicked person. But that's to me, again, is back to Darius pointing out all the frailties of society. the crime, the predatory nature, the leadership being immoral and it trickling down. All of those things mean that people, like they say, we're born into a world of sin, and born in sin and shaped in iniquity. You trying to find a good wife out of an iniquitous pool. That's just where we are right now. So if you don't have a sharper lens, it even requires more, because there were more young ladies, quote unquote, being prepared for marriage, being prepared to have a husband, being prepared to be in long-term relationships than there are right now. So in terms of the companionship, I can use that word alone. That's one word: companionship, honesty, and loyalty. That's invaluable throughout your life as a man. Like, we can say that that's not a benefit, but the hell is not, because we know enough niggas is ready to pull the trigger on themselves because of how hell can be a home can be a hell. You know what I'm saying? And so I go back to what is our faith and what is our selection process to minimize, not eliminate, minimize the potential that we end up into some legal contract that we regret.
So in essence, Darius, you're saying, I mean, it's only considered or called a prenuptial or whatever, right? Because, and I just kind of looked it up to kind of clarify the difference of what you're saying. Is the couple B is basically not adhering to the default state laws regarding, in this case, you're talking about financial rules, right? But they're just not. Couple B is just establishing and creating their own financial rules, contrary to the default ones of the state.
And
Essentially, and I'm not even sitting here talking for me, because I'm somebody that
Right, you're speaking for that few that may think like that, yeah, and it may not just, like you say, fall into the conformed notion of marriage and its so-called benefits and whatnot.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
because everybody don't have to live like that. And like I said, I don't know if it's responsible to get on here and encourage people to sign that contract when you sign a half your life away.
He says you don't think it's responsible.
That's where I come in. Like, that's, to me, that argument that's not a strong argument, because I'm not coming on here because I'm coming on here. First of all, it's not my responsibility to espouse anything, except because we all came in here and said we're not telling people how to do it. We telling them
how we did it. Right.
That was something we clearly say on this podcast. And two, I'm going to always speak the truth regardless of the circumstances. So regardless of the fact that marriage has become a messed up institution, I'm still going to advocate for the beauty of it, because I believe it's what God demands of us. So I'm not misleading anybody. If anything, I'm asking them to come up and meet the standard of what might qualify them to have one of these long relationships. Because most of the people that you're talking about are out here not doing what they're supposed to do, or either making choices that I could have clearly looked at them if they lay their paperwork out and said, well, look, shit, you knew this from the time this happened in the relationship, that she was a woman of the streets, or that she was out for the money when she asked you for a Louis bag 2 weeks in. There's so many things going on that we could probably point to with people that are complaining, that we could say, oh yeah, that was a red flag that you ignored. So I'm not going to shit on marriage. I'm gonna shit on you not listening to the red flags.
Right, because each
you talking to John, because I ain't been married.
No, that's what I mean. I said the people. I meant to say, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Each one of us.
I ain't talking to any. I'm not talking about anybody on here.
Each one of us.
I want to know his perspective as somebody that's been married and is no longer.
Right, but what I'm saying is,
that's why he was defending. That's why he was defending you earlier.
What was you saying, Chill? Go ahead, Chill.
One of us.
Delete.
Each one of us know numerous relationships that shouldn't have not. As soon as you hear them talking about it, you say they ain't got no business being married. You know this, but they so deeply caught up in the act of. Can y'all hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you. Darius can't. He can't hear you.
Oh, they so wrapped up in the thought of walking down the aisle having our Princess Day, But at the same time, a lot of times you seen all the red flags, all the warning signs. You ain't got no business being married. You a lot of times you could just identify relationship after relationship. I think. Yeah.
But no, that's
Well,
good stuff, Darius.
that's true. But what we're talking about is a prayer of discernment, right? Because, like you say, all four of you guys, I probably waited the longest to get married. Some people probably say that y'all would make it, but you did make it. You know what I mean? For various reasons why they would say that. Now, my marriage did not work out, but I don't regret it. You know what I mean? I got 3 kids, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Now, there were maturity mistakes. There were mistakes that she made, mistakes that I made that I needed to correct. You know what I mean? As far as discernment and making those decisions and understanding how to go through the tough times. So, but again, I don't regret doing it. It's been a challenge. You know what I mean? Trying to be a father in a broken home, but that was non-negotiable. You know, but if she and I were more mature in saying this marriage and being that.
Hey, them storms is taking our crew out one by one.
I know.
Yeah. Hey, we got a huge storm up the East Coast. Can y'all hear?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Sure. I hear JG. I think garbled and whatever.
Nobody's saying.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. JG's joint was all garbled and jacked up from the storm, I suppose. We got great weather here in North Carolina.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we got terrible weather up here, bro.
Well, it must have skipped over. Yeah, we got some storms here. So
Yeah.
y'all
They may be headed this way. Maybe ours is coming later in the night or something. But now we good for right now, though.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
then there were 3.
Yeah. So I think we can go ahead and wrap it up. And since we're having some technical issues due to the weather.
What you got to say for us, Juan? Taking us on.
As always, in the words of the great Frederick Douglass, it is easier to raise strong children than to repair broken men. Peace.